watching I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times.
What is going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. If you have not done so already, please shoot this stream a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. As well as if you happen to be a new viewer that stumbles across this stream, do yourself a favor, shoot that subscribe button, show your support, join this amazing community, as well as shoot that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. Well, everyone, as I stated earlier, I was going to go live again tonight for another character breakdown, this time covering the Gale Weathers and Kirby Reed characters, especially what we have gotten in terms of trailers, information over the last week or two. I definitely think that these two characters are going to be a heavy topic of discussion story-wise in Scream 6. And I also have a really good friend and a special guest with me tonight. You guys all know him as Destin from Destination Station. Let's get him in here. Let's get this conversation started. Destin, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm so glad to be back on the live streaming streets. So glad to be having some more conversations with you. It has been a while. I'm ready to get into this, man, and unpack this bad boy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thanks for inviting me, man.
Yeah, of course.
I know we were thinking about doing it last night, but, tonight was a little bit better.
Yes.
Timing for both of us. And I was
Absolutely.
actually concerned because we had a lot of tornado weather earlier.
Oh, wow.
And my internet went out for a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to cancel on Marcus, but it actually came back up. So yeah, we're good.
Hey, fate was on our side.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I mean, fortunately, hopefully, nothing, weather-wise too bad happened down there and stuff, but it's fortunate that, your power and everything got back up so we can do this live stream, man, because we've talked about it. I mean, I came on your channel a couple weeks ago and stuff like that, but outside of that, it's been a while since we really got to, buckle down and conversate on some Scream or anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you know what? It's the countdown now. 1 week from today, I'm going to see it. I can't wait.
Yes, I can't wait neither, man. I'm going on Friday. I invited my family and all that stuff. My sister, all her 3 kids, even the young ones, the little young ones, they want to see it. So, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's funny because she asked me, she's like, "So do you think, Leanna would be able to go see it?" And I'm like, "We're adults, Mariah." I was like, "They can come see it as long as they have parental guidance and you feel comfortable." You know what I mean? And stuff. And she's like, "Okay," and so I'm just making sure and all that, because it's funny because my youngest niece, she actually is like, she's really into like dolls, like the horror dolls, like Chucky. She just watched Megan, and I'm going to assume that she liked it because she really wanted to watch it. So like, I'm not going to lie, man. Like it's interesting and it's fun to see that in a way because I remember being that little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff growing up.
Those first feelings you get whenever watching that stuff.
Yes. So when she told me, because my oldest niece or whatever, she doesn't know this. Hopefully she's not watching the stream. But basically, this is like her birthday gift because the 25th is her birthday. And she's grown into a pretty big Scream fan over the last year and stuff since watching Scream 5. And I'm going to assume that she did watch some of the old ones as well. And she doesn't know this, that like part of the dinner we're going out to and stuff, it's going to be part of her birthday. I'm going to have like little candle, little brownie and stuff for her and all that. Throw a couple dollars because she's a teenager now, and she knows what to do with it and all that stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a great time that night, man. I cannot wait to see this movie. I know a couple weeks ago, unfortunately, some bonehead decided that they were going to do some leaks, but I said it before and I'm going to say it again, man. I honestly think that the stuff that got leaked out was scenes that they could have used for the movie, but they ultimately wasn't going to use it for the movie. Like basically alternate scenes. And I only say that because of all the edited and alternate scenes that we've gotten in the trailers. So I think a lot of that stuff that did get leaked out, I think a lot of it's not going to be what we see in the movie. And I'm hoping it's not, because I don't want this movie ruined for everybody. Bro, we have been anticipating this movie. Like, we have been anticipating this movie for the last year, but I think it's really ramped up ever since we really got the teaser trailer.
Yeah. Oh
When
yeah, that set the tone.
Yeah.
I said everything is going to be based off of this teaser because they could go
Yeah.
with a different tone this time around. And luckily, it doesn't seem like they
Absolutely.
did. Seems like they're taking it serious. Seems like it's going to be hardcore. So
Yeah, man.
I,
I'm not gonna lie.
I think we got a
I'm
hit.
gonna
I think
ask
they're
you,
going to green light 7 really quick after this.
apparently they're already in talks.
I know.
Now, according to viewer Anon, no, according to Beyond the Mask, I guess he has a source that's, I guess, pretty credible and close to the film. Apparently, this story isn't going to carry into 7, which I don't know how much I believe that because they're giving away heavy hints that this is going to be a cliffhanger. Like, so I'm not saying that person is a liar, especially if they're way closer to the film than we are. But I think the clues that we have gotten point that, if not all, some of this story that we're getting in Scream 6 will spill out into Scream 7.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do think that, man.
Yeah,
And
I hope it is like a carrying on like story. You know how we got
yeah,
Scream 1, 2, and 3, and there was an overall story there. I hope we get something similar here, and it's not just like every entry is a completely different story.
right.
Just surrounded by the survivors. I want more connection. I want them to connect more even with the past films. If you want to build on that a little bit. I know they're wanting to like somewhat move away from Sydney, and that's what we're doing a little bit, but also keep her there. Like, hey, this is still all connected because of this or that.
Right.
Maybe there's something more to Marine's murder that we don't know. Like maybe something happened before she was murdered. I mean, writer, you get a good writer, you can come up with some good stuff, and that's what I'm hoping that we have here is some really clever writing.
Right. Well, it's interesting that you brought up about like Marine and something like possibly from her past that still could be brought into now. And, this has been a topic of discussion, leading into even Scream 5, is that there was a rumor out there that as part of, I guess an old script or a leaked old script that may have not gotten used and may never get used, but Radio Silence are big fans of Scream, so they might use it, that Hank Loomis was in Sunrise Studios the same time as Maureen Prescott. He was a lawyer for Sunrise Studios, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He was a lawyer for Sunrise Studios.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I did touch on this in a video like last year sometime. And I mean, you take that with you, what you will, but I think that is interesting because if that were to ever turn out to be true, well, then you got to ask the question: is Hank Roman's father? Like,
Hmm.
especially if
So.
he knew Marine, he was the lawyer for Milton,
Mm-hmm.
and he represented Marine. That was part of that rumor.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, did they have a relationship in Sunrise, and then maybe he followed her back to Woodsboro? I don't know. You know what I mean? If that rumor were to ever be true, I think that would be fascinating storytelling. Like that would be crazy. Because
Yeah.
then, because
Yeah.
then,
That would be really nuts. Yeah.
look how twisted that would be. If he were turned out to be Roman's father, that means Roman and Billy are brothers,
That's what I was thinking. I was like, hold on. Like, I'm trying to put all the connections together. I'm like,
right?
yeah, that's a little deeper.
Yeah. And then in so many ways, Billy would kind of be like Sydney's half brother.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, hold on. There's going to be some Saturday Night Live little skits on this one.
Yeah, man, absolutely. All right, so before we get into the topics of Gale Weathers and Kirby Reed's character, I'm going to check out the comment section. We got 33 comments. Everyone, I am sorry. I know we are behind, but that's what happens when we get great conversation. You guys know this. I will try my best to keep up with the chat as best as I can. Jen Warner's in the chat. What's going on, Jen?
Jen.
Hey. Jen says, I am still awake. Let's get this party started. I know that's right,
Hell yeah.
Jen. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Chocolate
see you,
ice in the
Jen.
chat. What is going on? Thank you for stopping in. Denisha Lane. Hey, what's going on, Denisha? How you doing tonight, girl? Melissa's in the chat. What's going on, Melissa? How you doing? Thank you for stopping in tonight and earlier. A lot of you that was on my stream earlier are stopping in. I love it. Uh-oh. Oh. Go ahead. You say it, Destin.
Oh, Brock. Uncle Brock up in this biznitch.
That's right. Brock Willis.
What's up, buddy?
What is going on?
It's a party
Brock?
now. I'm telling you, dude.
Absolutely.
It's about to get wild up in here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Jamie Hart in the chat. What's going on, Jamie? Good to see you back again as well.
Hey, Jamie.
Oh. Well, Brock, I will say that we are going to definitely get into, I don't want to say maybe cotton weary per se, but I definitely do think that some of our Gale conversation is kind of going to be centered around a certain book that she wrote about cotton weary. So I have
a video coming out tomorrow about that whole situation.
Yeah, man. This is getting wild.
Yeah.
It is getting so wild.
But I do like that idea, Brock. I'm not gonna lie. I do like. I want some cotton weary. I want some revenge for him being wrongfully accused, or something.
Right. Hell, I want some for revenge for him being killed off.
You know what they could do is, I know a lot of times that the formula is we get two killers and one of them has the real motive and the other one is just like the muscle or somebody that's just wants to do it for fame or whatever the case. Why not have two motives? Maybe these two guys have or ladies have been affected and one's got a story arc, the other one's got the other. There you go. You could go in two different directions with the next entry of the movie. You don't know where we're going to go, Let's make some more forks in the road.
Yeah. And real quick, before we move down in the comments, that is interesting what Brock says about redemption for Cotton Weary because YouTuber, I can't remember the numbers in his handle, but the Horror Hive. I don't know if you've caught on to his channel yet, but he's been doing a lot of Scream content, and he has a lot of very interesting theories on everybody, and I'm talking about everybody, even Sydney. He has a lot of interesting theories, and one theory that he came out with was that Cotton Weary could possibly be alive. And his basis for this theory is how when Cotton gets stabbed, it cuts to the credits like Jenna Ortega's did in Scream 5. And her character obviously lived. So that was, his point of emphasis on that. And I liked it. I was like, man, and he obviously said some other things that kind of made sense as well. But he made a good point with that. I thought. I was like, man, that is a pretty good point. Now,
but didn't he get stabbed in like the chest?
I think so. I want to say so. You know what I mean? But I mean, hey, I'm a guy who thinks Charlie Walker's alive, man.
Hey, yeah, he got stabbed in the chest too. I always thought that it would have been really sick if instead of Roman, if it really was Cotton, and it was like he got caught, but then he got away with it, but then he gained our trust, gained Sydney's trust, got his fame and fortune with 100% Cotton, and then wouldn't it be so crazy if like there was a scene where Cotton like leans into Sydney and into her ear and it's like, "You did see me that night." Man, just like
I remember you said that before in a live stream, and I wasn't on the live stream; I was in the chat. But I remember when you said that, I was just like, "Ooh, I like that. That's deep. That's dark. I like that."
because
Like that would
Liv Schreiber could be a badass villain.
what? He's the fucking man.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm a big fan of Liv Schreiber. And what I love about Liv Schreiber, and I think that I always envisioned him once I heard him on 24/7's boxing series when he would cover the boxers
Hmm.
and he would do narration for that. I said, man, he would make a really good killer that knows how to talk and narrate his
Hmm.
way through his motive. Like when he would do those narrations in those boxing videos and stuff, I'm like, man, his narration and his voice is so well suited for that type of psychological killer.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it, I mean, like, I wouldn't be mad about it, if, I've seen some theories go around about Cotton could have a twin brother or something. No, I want Cotton. I don't want a twin brother. I
Right.
want
Yeah.
Cotton,
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I wouldn't want a
A
twin
lot of
either.
times when horror movies do the twin brother act, I mean, I know we got twins in the new Scream movies, but that's different, But if you got uh, like twins that that's like, I feel like it's kind of a cop out for your script. It's kind of
Mhm.
like, oh, well, there's your twist, and it's like it's not really a twist. It's just like it's a what do you call it? Like a safety net,
Yeah. Like
like
just something that it's like it's not gonna be that well received by friends, but fans ain't gonna hate it.
right, right. It's
Like
just kind of
it's
like, okay, I buy it, but it's not as good as it could have been. That was just kind of like
right.
it just makes the script kind of weak a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get to some more of these comments. I'm gonna zoom through these comments, guys. I know I'm behind, so that's why I'm gonna, try to catch up as fast as possible. But to answer Brock's question, he says, Marcus, your t-shirt is sick. Where did you get it? I got it at Spencer's.
I was about to say that. I was thinking
Yeah,
you did.
Spencer's. Yep, got it at Spencer's. I one day I was like, you know what? I got a few extra dollars to spend. I was like, I need to update my horror shirt resume. You know what I
And
mean? I'm like, let me go out here to Spencer's, see what they got. And I got a few, I got my glow in the dark Ghostface shirt, which I'm going to be wearing for the glow in the dark party
hell
and
yeah.
stuff. Yep. I got another I think I got two more Ghostface shirts. No, I got 3 Halloween shirts and 2 Ghostface shirts and stuff. And the one Halloween shirt is the one where he has a knife and it says just a tip on it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I have that Michael Myers shirt, it says that, and, I almost wore
nice.
that tonight, actually. I wish I would've.
Nice.
But I was thinking it was like, I don't have any Scream T-shirts though, so but I was just at Spencer's the other day, about 2 days ago. I went up to the mall and I was like, "Oh," and right there at the entry, what caught my eye was all this Scream
Mhm.
memorabilia, and I'm like, "Dang, they're really coming out with this." I was like, I wanted to buy everything real quick.
Yeah, they was calling for you, buddy.
Yeah.
It was like, "Buy me."
Yeah. I was like, "All right, I'll be back."
I know that's right, man.
I didn't have enough
Absolutely.
time
Yeah,
to, like, really,
I
like,
actually wanna go out
browse.
again this week and grab some more myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably get some this weekend too to be prepared for next weekend.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Also, I think you've already answered this, but are you gonna be able to come on sometime Saturday for the Screamathon, the 10-hour
Yep.
watch party?
Yep, from 2 to 4.
Okay, nice,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'll be dishwashing from 12 to 4, and
Yeah.
usually our lunch hours are, like, fairly dead. So,
Mhm.
like, I can use that time to set up shop, put the computer in the dish area.
Oh, hell yeah, don't get it wet.
Oh, I won't. I put it in a safe spot. I
Okay.
mean, and stuff. So it's crazy because it's so funny because last year at my old job or whatever, I did a live stream literally while I was working in the damn dish room and stuff. But we got through. I had my headsets on. Everything still went smooth. It was a great stream and everything. Hey, listen, if my employers, because they know I work, they know
Yeah.
I bust my ass. So if I can get away with it a little bit, I'm gonna get away with it a little bit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So
Hey, I was thinking about, I don't know how crowded it's gonna be because it's on several different screens, and I'm going pretty early next Thursday to see the movie. I was thinking about doing a live stream while sitting in the theater, like my
Bro,
full reaction. Like, has anybody ever
bro,
sat in the theater and did a live stream and had their full reaction while watching it?
bro. I mean, you gotta think of it this way. I mean, somebody's in there in the movie theaters recording, for media purposes when they're getting fan reactions during some of these horror movies.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's a fucking brilliant idea, man. Like that,
Yeah.
bro. I don't know. You might take your channel over the moon with that one.
Yeah.
Like,
But I don't but, it's also like I wanna
great
be
idea.
focusing on the movie like
Right,
100%. So it's like, "Oh, is it gonna be a distraction?" And I gotta make sure that there's nobody sitting behind me because I don't want my screen to, like
right,
on my phone or something. Like, I don't want it to do it. Maybe I'll do it for, like, the reveal or something, like a quick
right.
live stream reveal or something. I don't know. I'll come up with something. I'll think about
Now
it.
you know how you could do it, so you're not getting nobody in the background or anything like that as well. Is if you have basically if you have your phone, or if you like, and you have like a little mini stand for it, maybe prop it somewhere on the floor, catty corner enough to where it's catching just your face and
Yeah.
fire away, man. Like there's ways you can finagle this.
Yeah, 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 right? I'll
There's
be throwing
definitely ways you
popcorn all
can
over
finagle
the
it.
place. I have to see it in 3D
Heck,
though. That's the only way to see it early.
true. Speaking of popcorn, Katie from Popping the Popcorn
Oh,
coming in. Hi, friends.
I want
What
some
is
popcorn.
going on, Katie? Yeah, you summoned her with that one.
Yeah, I did. She heard me.
Uh, it's good to see you, Katie. It's been a little bit. I
What's
got to
up,
get you
Katie?
on a live stream as well. We had plans like months ago, and then as everybody knows, my live streaming took a hit because just I my connection just wasn't up to par. And now
Yeah.
that I have everything up to par, I am definitely going to be trying to fire away with some live streaming content.
Yeah, it'll drag it down for sure. I'm hoping Saturday with all the guests because I'm gonna have a a bunch of viewers. I'm gonna have a bunch of content creators just kind of popping in and
Yeah,
out or hanging out as long as you want. But like holding 10 people, I'm hoping I got pretty strong internet, so hopefully we'll be good to go. So
absolutely. I think that's going to be a great stream, my friend. I wanted to do something,
don't be
and I am
wrong.
going to do something. I'm going to do something like that for Saul. I wanted to do it last year or
Yeah,
whatever, but I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen
yeah,
because I do think it makes a little bit more sense to do it this year, being that the movie is coming out this year.
yeah, yeah, and like do
So
it like right before or something. Man,
right.
that's a lot of movies.
I
That's more
know.
than Scream, man.
I know, bro.
We'll
That's
just
what
start knocking them out. We'll just do like the entire franchise of Nightmare on Elm Street.
when you think about it, bro. I mean, Saw movies, we'll just say roughly they're about 2 hours a piece.
Yeah.
That's 9 films. It's
Mhm.
about 18 hours worth of live streaming content.
Yeah, and then that's without anything else being said, like we're gonna be
Right.
discussing, we're gonna be commentary, we're gonna talk
Yes.
afterwards, we're gonna talk before we get started.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
So
at
we're
least
looking
be
at
like 11.
about yeah. We're looking at about a total of what? I want to say 20 to 21 hours content right there, like hours. That's almost a whole day. Like, whew. But I'm here for it. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
All right, my
Yeah, me
friend.
too.
So let's get into this conversation. Where do you want to start first? You want to start with Gale or Kirby? I'll let you choose because you are the guest.
Oh, okay. Well, we've been talking a lot about Gale lately. I'm curious what you got to say about Kirby because I have some things. I haven't made a whole lot of videos on Kirby because like it's kind of like I have some stuff I do want to say, but it's just man, I don't
Well,
know.
it's hard for you to say it because you don't really want it to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
get it.
really don't. It's just kind of like, oh man, they're just getting our hopes up just to rip it out again.
I know,
Yeah,
man. I know. Um, yeah, we can start with Kirby. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. From the evidence that I've gathered and the things that I'm seeing, I think that not only is she a Ghostface killer in this film, but I think possibly because we do know that we're supposed to we might get a flashback to her house. You know what I mean? Because remember, they had her house on that soundstage.
Yeah.
I think they could reveal that she was involved with Charlie and Jill, man. Like, I think they could.
Really?
I do, man.
Even after the phone call?
Yes, bro. I'm telling you, when you really go back and watch Scream 4, in certain instances, especially with Charlie and Jill moving around with no vehicle, they're not getting around that fast. Kirby was the only one who had a vehicle, man. The only one. And and this is another thing too. And it kind of plays into Scream 6, in my opinion. You hear in the trailer when Gale picks up the phone and Ghostface says, "Hello, Gale. Did you miss me?" Now, you can, take that as, Ghostface just being Ghostface. Gale's been through this and through so many movies and all that stuff. But I think that Kirby is the one who stabbed her in the shoulder at Stabathon. Now, I know Jill somewhat took the credit for that. But the reason why I believe that is because Jill wouldn't have had enough time, at least from what we got in terms of scene time, and in terms of clocking the scenes. Jill wouldn't have made it out there in time to stab Gale. We got to keep in mind that Kirby was there. Charlie was with Robbie downstairs.
Yeah.
Tending to all the fans and all that. Now, I'm not sitting there saying that Charlie didn't find some time to dip out, but we also got to keep in mind that Robbie ended up at Kirby's house as well. So that tells me that at least to some degree, him and Charlie never split up that night. As well as who went to go pick up Jill.
I always found the editing weird around Scream 4 right there. Like, I felt like I was like, all right, where are we now? And what's the time frame right here? It just kind of like, for some reason, always confuses me whenever I'm watching it because we're jumping back and forth from a lot of locations.
Right.
And yeah, man, I can see that. I can absolutely see that. I always thought it would have been cool because think about this. How many times have people been stabbed and they survived? I think Adam Brody, the one cop, I think he could have survived. He got stabbed once and fell over.
Yeah.
I know that Anthony Anderson's dead. I know he's dead. He ain't coming back. He ain't gonna be back in Rush Hour 3. Anyways,
good plug.
You know what movie I'm talking about at the end of
yeah, I do. Absolutely. I love the Rush Hour.
Rush Hour 2 and the bloopers. Oh,
Yep.
he ain't gonna be back from Rush Hour 3.
Yep. Hell yeah.
But I think Adam Brody, like given his height, he played kind of a goofy cop. I feel like that it would be really cool to still have him back in it. And Radio Silence has worked with him before on Ready or Not. And
that is true.
What if he got away? What if that would be cool? I think that, I mean, like, even though he wasn't like a big part of the franchise or anything like that,
right?
I just think, I don't know, I kind of like him as an actor, and
right.
I think that he would make a good Ghostface. I really do.
I mean, it would make sense, especially in 6, because we're going to talk about this too. That Ghostface in the bodega, that bad boy seems tactical, man. Special forces, like the movements and everything and stuff. Now, I know it's a Scream baby, who one of my newer subscribers, and I seen you in the chat here earlier. I will get to some of your comments here in a second and stuff, but I know he is in the boat as me in terms of thinking that it's Charlie Walker, and they pointed out that basically the movements of this Ghostface killer in the bodega is very similar to Charlie. Now, unfortunately, I did not get around to rewatching Scream 4 again like I wanted to earlier because I had some other stuff to attend to and all that. I think, after the stream and stuff like that, I am going to pop it on and, take a look at it again and see how I feel about Charlie's movements and stuff like that. But from right now, as we stand on this live stream, I think whoever's in that bodega scene coming after Sam and Tara is a cop. I definitely do. Just the stealthness.
It does seem like it's
the way they. Yes, the way they popped the shell out of the shotgun, like, and this is another thing I want to bring up as well is and in Scream 5, the Dewey death scene, the double knives,
Hmm.
that's tactical. That's like
Yeah.
special forces.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That's something like soldiers and Navy and all them that they would have.
Yeah,
Uh, like,
that was in Call of Duty Warzone when you were able to play Ghostface for that
okay,
Halloween. That was his finishing move. You sneak up behind somebody, he does the knife in the front, knife in the back, and that was before Scream 5 came out. And then he kicks him down to the ground. And I'm like, that's Dewey's death right there. So
right,
I've been killing folks in Warzone all this time, not knowing this is how Dewey's gonna die.
right.
So it was just kind of fun. But yeah, man, I do think it's gonna be somebody tactical. If they're not revealed in this one, they need to be like the cliffhanger, like you said, and be revealed in the next one. Like whoever this different Ghostface is kind of gets
Right,
away, you know.
absolutely. Now, I want to show you this clip. Now, Destin, I want to ask you
Sure.
on the shot that we got with the graffiti of Ghostface on the wall and what's your favorite scary movie?
Mhm.
Did you happen to catch the other little side piece on the right hand side of graffiti?
I have not. You make me want to bring up the image real quick.
Oh, I got it. I
Okay.
got it,
All
my
right.
friend. I made sure that I put it up here, and this is why I believe that Kirby Reed is behind this.
What the fuck is that?
Bro, it
Is
looks
that
like a
the
person.
it looks like the Batman symbol.
Right? But it looks when you really hone in on it and the face like that right there looks like a face. Looks like hair maybe right there. Looks like a jacket maybe right there.
Okay.
And
Okay,
then
I'm
look at
seeing it.
Kirby's hair, the jacket. I think, and I could be wrong, but I
Mhm.
think if this is supposed to be Kirby in this, graffiti, this is the shot from when she's sitting on the desk in the classroom when Charlie is interviewing Sydney and Gale with Robbie when
Hmm.
she's sitting
Okay.
at her desk.
Okay. Yeah.
Because just the way that it's postured and stuff like that. Bro, I think especially right here around the facial area is telling to me that that's supposed to be Kirby in Scream 4. Now, my theory for that is this. It's two theories. It's either that's Ghostface toying with Kirby and she's not a Ghostface killer and that's Ghostface toying with her, letting her know I got eyes on you just as much as you got eyes on me, and I am targeting you just like I'm targeting everybody else. But, and I think this, the second theory I have more rings true because I definitely do think she's, could be part of this cult of ghost faces, as that this is a sign that Kirby's involved, as if she's behind Ghostface.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like she's behind Ghostface, like she's standing behind Ghostface. She has something to do with it and stuff. Like it's so crazy
She was an
because
art student.
hey,
That's why
maybe
she can do the graffiti and everything.
I mean,
I'm
bro,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
well, let's really be honest here though. We do see a lot of artistic stuff in the shrine, a lot of
Yeah.
drawings.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I mean, bro, when I saw that, and I didn't catch that initially, I caught that yesterday, early yesterday, when I was trying to look for more stuff, in terms actually related to Gale, you know what I mean, clue wise and stuff like that. And when that shot came up, I just happened to just for some reason look to the right hand side and I see that spot.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yo, what the hell is that? And when I zoomed up on it, I said, that looks like a fucking face. And I'm just like, wait a minute. So I really honed in on it. And then I instantly thought of Kirby in the classroom. I'm like, the facial, the hair, it looks like that
Just the
would be Kirby. Now,
structure.
yes. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I don't know, man. I think
Hey,
it's telling.
speaking of Kirby's house, and we're probably going to get a flashback and showing how she survived or whatever. that gives great opportunity to get a cameo of like Dewey coming in and finding her body, or
Mm.
somebody, and maybe even Judy Hicks coming in and finding her body, something like that. Like, oh, we got a live one here,
Right,
something, you know.
right. Now,
So
now I think the big question is too is where do they find her body?
I'd say at the bottom of the basement, like her trying to climb up the steps.
Got you. Got you. See, I still have reservations about that too. You know what I mean? Because eh, I just feel like
There's got
if
to
that
be.
wasn't if that wasn't a fake out, why would she not even respond to Sydney at all? Like, I understand she was messed up, she got stabbed,
Mhm.
but I just feel like I don't know, man. There's something up with that scene right there with Kirby. I do think there's something up with that scene, and I think we're gonna find out in Scream 6. I did not hope for this initially, but the more I think about it, I like it because we've never seen a victim turn into Ghostface before.
Yeah, that's something different. That
Right.
that's I wouldn't be mad about that.
Me neither, man.
Um I like it. But here's another thing that I'm thinking. There's got to be more to her house for them to rebuild it all, because they don't have to rebuild it all to just show her surviving, laying down bloody at the bottom of a steps or outside a door or something like that. You don't have to build an entire house for that.
Right.
So, that's just wasted money and resources. So, um, it makes me think that there's going to be more to that scene. Maybe there's something we did not see. What if, like, Kirby actually woke up? You remember the part where, well, of course you remember the part where Jill goes crazy and
Mhm.
Charlie and everybody's dead and she starts breaking everything and then she lays down next to Sydney.
Mhm.
What if we see Kirby wake up and she sees them laying there and she's just kind of like holding her stomach, and
Right.
she's like coming out of her house, like yelling at the ambulance or the cops pulling up, like help, or something
Right.
like that. I don't know. I just feel like they got it. They have to be doing something a little bit more to build the entire set.
No, I agree with that. That's a good point that you just made because there's no reason to make that entire set if there's not going to be some type of significance to it.
Hmm.
How crazy would it be if I like that cameo idea for both Dewey and Judy? What if we just got the entire shebang? We got was outside of, I mean, maybe that is Sid's cameo. Who knows? You know what I mean? What if we got the entire shebang? We see Charlie, we see Jill, all that. Like,
Hmm.
I think that'd be pretty cool. I'd be down for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
I would. I'd like it. I think it'd be pretty cool as well. I just, um, oh man, I just,
no, man.
if that's what they're gonna do more, then that makes me think that Kirby might be Survivor turned Ghostface, because
Man.
why do all that work just for Survivor? We didn't need all that work for any of our other legacy characters.
Right. There's there's something up with Kirby in this one, man.
Now I have heard rumors that Paramount Plus is thinking about doing a spin-off series with her, and that's going to be the Scream show series. I don't know how true that is, but that's, rumors going around that they're building this up and she's going to go one way and then Sam and Tara is going to go the other, and it's going to be that's what the show is going to be about.
So so basically they're gonna kind of turn Kirby into her own Ghostface Magnum PI.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't
know, man.
I personally I don't like it because then you're taking away from the movies, in my opinion, with that. Because then there's so much of that stuff. Like, if she is going after multiple ghost faces across the country, like, for all that, you can just do one simple cult of Ghostface. Maybe this is what we're getting, but you can just do that across a couple films.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't need a TV show. You know what I mean? For that, not to shit on, Hayden Panettiere. I think she's awesome. She's
Yeah.
amazing. I don't want to see Scream turn into some type of action adventure.
Yeah, I don't want to see it like that either. Like Law and Order SVU or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I don't want to see it like that either. Now, did you notice a lot of people? Damn, I probably need to make a video about this, but a lot of people were talking about there was this image that came out of, and they were in the shrine
hmm
when all the Ghostface costumes and everything's right there. But someone was like, "Hey, look, it's the axe that Sydney used in Scream 2 at the end." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I see the axe, but what's to the left? What's on that mannequin right there?" And it was like a slicker, like the Ghostface costume in the TV show.
Oh.
Or it could be a callback to like I know we did last summer, but I think it would be more of a callback
Yeah,
to
to the
the
TV
TV
show.
show because I was like, okay, that's not a regular Ghostface. That's like how the costume was in the TV
In the
show. Now you
TV
didn't see
series.
the mask, you just saw the slicker. That was it, and I was
Right.
just like, that's not. But nobody's really talked about it.
That's crazy. That's interesting you brought that up because that is there. I did peep it a little bit. Like, I didn't go deep into detail, but now that I'm thinking about it, that is something that I caught, that particular coat, that particular gown looked like a little bit thicker, but like it's a slicker. So it is going to be a little bit thicker and
Yeah,
stuff like that. That's definitely an excellent point to bring up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's not I mean, it's not surprising, but that's pretty cool if they were to put that in there because obviously the first two seasons of Scream TV series don't connect to the franchise. So that's a nice little nugget and an homage to, just the TV show in general. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah. I do too. I do too. Because I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It scratched that itch while we were absent from Scream for a long time.
Bro, I remember when
Sounds
that
weird.
TV show was coming out. And I remember when I seen The Mask and I was just like, okay, it's different,
It is
but
different.
I said it's different, but okay, I'll give it a chance. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so impressed with those first two seasons. I did not expect me myself to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, week after week after week, I was right there tuning in. You know what I mean? Popcorn, goodies, chicken, whatever in hand. Just watching. I'm just like, man, they really did a good job of making a Scream TV show without having to incorporate the past movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They made it their own. They followed their own story. They came up with their own Ghostface costume. Mike Vaughn is the fucking shit as Ghostface in that TV series.
Yep.
I love his voice. They did a really good job with that. And I actually would love to see them explore Lakewood again in a third season. I want that story finished. I want to know who was Mr. James checking into that hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I have so many theories about that, but yeah, if they ever, do bring that show back, man, there's going to be a lot more Scream content on my channel
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm going to have to keep up with the movies and the TV show, but I'm okay with that. Hey, let's do it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, for sure. All right, now I see the comments piling up, everyone. So I'm going to share this last clip of Kirby and, get Destin's opinion on it. And then I'm going to hit you guys' comments and all that stuff up. But, obviously, like I said before, we're having such a great conversation. This is what happens. We'll get backed up a little bit, but I'm not forgetting about you guys. So just bear with me. So, Destin, another reason what led me to believe about Kirby possibly being Ghostface is this shot that we obviously got in the trailer
Yes.
with the bruise on her head.
Yeah.
And the reason why I believe that is because we see three times now in the trailer and now in Gale's chase scene where Ghostface gets hit in the head with something. We see Chad in the Ghostface shrine hit
Yep.
Ghostface with something, and I actually think that's Kirby
Where she
chasing
gets
him.
it.
Yeah, I think that's where she gets it. Because then when you see Samantha hit Ghostface or whatever she hits Ghostface with in the apartment, at least from what I saw, and maybe I'll have to go back and look at it again, but it doesn't look like the spot where she hit
Hmm.
would have lined up where Kirby's bruise is.
Yeah.
However, Chad's does.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw that, and I saw that bruise, well, the first line that came to my mind was "Nice welt, sweetie." I mean,
Yeah.
and but then I just really looked at it, and I'm just like, man, I done seen Ghostface get whacked in the head with some objects now a couple times now, and she's all of a
Hey, don't
sudden
forget
up.
about the cast iron with Gale.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like that was before that came out or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm just like, man, I just seen Ghostface get hit in the head with some objects a couple times now, and then Kirby all of a sudden just pops up and she's rocking a bruise.
Right.
And I just feel like if the killer was gonna, attack her in the Ghostface shrine in that moment, one, I feel like they would have been smart enough to take her gun if they at least incapacitated her enough. She got
Yeah.
banged up in the head. You can make the argument she might have passed out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which at that point, I think Ghostface would take her gun.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
why, if she was attacked, why does she still have her gun?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a big possibility. I do. That was one of my initial thoughts. Was I was like, wow, I think they're going to make Kirby a ghost face. That's not exactly what I want, but it does seem like some things are leading that way. Um, if it's written right, if it's more than just a revenge thing, if there's something deeper there, uh, then yeah, I think it. I don't know, but I also want her to just kind of like be a part of the legacy characters.
I
We're
understand that.
we've lost Dewey, and we might be losing Gale, and we need somebody to lean on here. Somebody, just it's just I don't know.
I'll say this, Destin. I just seen earlier that they dropped another little TV spot, and they had the scene and a little bit of the extended scene from Gale's chasing in it.
Hmm.
But the ending of the trailer was Samantha holding that Ghostface mask, and then it cuts.
Mm,
And I have a really interesting theory that I'll say it here, but I'm gonna, do a live stream and like really break it down. And it's just a theory,
yeah,
but you don't see nobody else around Samantha in that shot. What if
yeah.
she's fucking Ghostface and this is a whole cult, but she gets rid of them
Hmm.
all of them.
Like maybe they're trying to slowly trigger her and maybe come into her side or something, you mean? Or and then she just kind of turns on
No,
them all?
no, I think she's already triggered. I mean, because this is why I think that we got to look at it like this, and I think it's
She's using
pretty
her
evident
sister
now.
as bait?
Yeah, hell yeah, she's been using her sister as bait. Scream 5 set that tone.
Damn.
She been through her sister to the wolves. Especially if my whole Sydney theory is right about her being Samantha's real mother. They ain't even sisters, so Tara's expendable. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but being that we don't have that, revealing that is just a theory. Either way, I do think that Samantha has always been basically, you know, putting Tara out there if she is a ghost face because I mean, let's really be honest. She can play the jealous card. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
she got both of her parents. You know what I mean? Even though Samantha kind of ran the other one off, it's still the point. You know what I mean? That Tara seems to be the favorite. You know what I mean? And stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, But I think Sam is already, because you got to think about this too. If the story is surrounding more around Gale, and we're going to talk more about that, because I definitely do think that this story, they made it evident over the last few trailers, especially with the fact that we know she is writing a requel to the events of 5. I think it's safe to say that Gale is going to be the main target. And much like Dewey in Scream 5, this story, in terms of like storytelling and stuff like that, is going to be about Gale and about Ghostface targeting her. Samantha and Tara and all of them are just showing up at wrong place, wrong time. And you even hear that in the trailer with Tara when they're right outside the police station. She looks at Gale and she's like, Ghostface is here in New York. They didn't even know,
Yeah.
and stuff like
They
that.
don't look like they're happy with her.
She wrote the book.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
She wrote
that
the book.
that we as the audience, we might not even like Gale that much in this movie. And I hope they don't make it really like that. Like, I hope we see her like struggle with, should I have done this? Should I have not done this? I was under contract, so they made me write another book or whatever the case. But she did say she wasn't going to write about this. But there's
Right.
evidence showing that she did. And that video is coming out tomorrow on my channel. But
Right.
it's just, I that's what I'm saying. Is like, is that what is that going to be their excuse of how they're going to get rid of her? Is it's like, oh, you fell back into the old Gale ways. You're back at selfish point. Maybe she got hardened after Dewey died. But if they write it in a way to where we as the audience don't even like her anymore, I don't really want her to
Right.
go out like that. I want us to be like, no, don't kill her. She's still a good person. I
Right.
don't want her to be complete selfish, if that's the way they're going to write her.
I understand that. I think honestly, and it's interesting that you brought up like basically like how they could go about it, like as if she was was she struggling with making this or not. And given what Courtney said in Variety, and Brandon said this in his video as well, and I ended up looking up, the Variety interview with Courtney. The
Mhm.
way that Courtney words it is like basically like Gale just was like, okay, well, somebody's going to write a book about it, so I might as well be the one. That's
Yeah.
from what I took, and I think this is why I think she should and will die in Scream 6. And the reason why is because, and I said this in my video the other day, how many times are you going to keep letting this character live when she's the part of the reason why these new killers keep reigniting to kill? She
Yeah.
keeps inspiring new killers with these books. And the fact that and this is what, fascinates me about it, is that Dewey just died a year ago. The events are picking up literally a year later.
Right.
And you decide to go against your word and create this book. And it's about Samantha.
Mhm.
And Courtney does confirm that in the Variety interview, that the requel book is about the events of Scream 5 and Samantha being Billy's daughter, which
Mhm.
would explain why Samantha and Tara don't look like they like her.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And stuff. And at that point, it's like, okay, so yeah, we see certain instances where Gale does show some type of character growth in terms of changing for the better, but then we ultimately end up in the same spot with her.
Yeah.
How many more times are you going to keep letting this character come back and survive while also sacrificing a new character, possibly filling that spot that we could like as the audience, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, I just, I like Gale, but I also feel like time's up. You
Time's
know what I mean?
up. Yes.
Time's up. But I also feel like this is again playing into what I said a year ago when I made this video about the anthology. That
Mhm.
this new Scream trilogy from Radio Silence is an anthology for the OG3 characters. You
Mhm.
got Scream 5. A lot of the story and dialogue was about Dewey, about how he crawled into a bottle, how he couldn't handle life in New York with Gale, how basically he was forced to retire as a sheriff, how
Mhm.
basically he was a guy who'd been stabbed 9 times and didn't want to go through these new killings all over again.
Mhm.
And now, much like Dewey, we're focusing the story on Gale, another legacy character. It seems like this is an anthology for the old school characters. And I think, especially if they get Sid back in 7, that completes that theory. But the only thing you would have to ask yourself, and I think that this is why they would be doing this by killing off Gale and Dewey, is to leave in our mind, okay, if Sid does come back, are they going to kill her?
No,
So
I don't think they
I've
will.
said that too. No, I don't think they
I
will
think she
neither.
would be
I
the
just think
one
they're
that
going to
will
play with that
survive.
idea in our mind. I just think
Yeah,
they're going to use Gale and Dewey's deaths to play with our mind, but ultimately, I don't think Nev will even allow it.
right. And I think that at the end of 7, if that is going to be where we, tie up this trilogy for a little bit, um, I would like to see her visit their gravesite in Woodsboro. Like that be like the ending shot, like she's standing there and you see both of their tombstones and they're laying next to each other. And then she like walks away and then the camera just kind of pans up to the sky. And,
Right?
you know, that'd be the ending of that, just kind of like reminding us like, you know, of them too. And that they, in death, they're still together. It'd be poetic, man.
Right? Right. Absolutely, man. I like it. I do think that they're going to kill her character off, and we're going to actually get into Gale now because I have some interesting, things to talk about with you, especially in terms of the shrine, my friend. Because,
Okay.
a lot of us have speculated, whose shrine is this? Could it be, who's behind the shrine, what have you? And
Hmm.
I definitely have some interesting reservations about it. So, but before that, we are going to catch up on some of these comments. I'm obviously not going to get to all 89 comments that we have just missed, but
Oh, wow.
I caught up. Yeah, I caught up, and I'm going to read off like a good 5 to 10 of them. You know what I mean? Just to let you guys know that I know you guys are here. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. I greatly appreciate you guys' support. And if you have not done so already, we have 18 people watching. Do your boy a favor, shoot that like button. I'm trying to get this stream over 30 likes. If we can get the stream over 30 likes, that would help so much. It would help with the YouTube algorithm. It will funnel this stream over to new viewers. New people will want to subscribe, all that good stuff. So, guys, you already know what to do. Show your support and shoot that like button, as well as go into the description of my description for this stream and click on Destin's link to his YouTube channel. And if you aren't subscribed to Destination Station already, get your asses over there and subscribe. Great content, great guy. I love having these conversations with him and stuff. And the content he puts out, I promise you, you guys will not be disappointed with.
Thanks, buddy.
No doubt, my friend. Okay, so real quickly, let's get to some of these comments. Hey, Val, I was in here earlier, Val, so I want to, give you my salute. Hashtag the
Yeah, the
general.
general.
That's right. What is going on, Val?
She's on
Saying
duty.
hello to Kelly. I assume Kelly is still here because I did see her comment. Yes, she is. Real quick, Brock Willis saying hi to Larry. Everybody giving some praise to Larry Warner. What is going on, my friend? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't talked to you in a while. I got to reach out to you as well. We got to catch up on some of these merch designs and all that stuff. Yeah, man. And like start ramping that bad boy up some more too.
I
Get
got to
some
work on
cool
some of my
out
merch
there.
too, since I've changed some of my logos and everything.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah. Gotta get the merch out there. I
Hey,
want to do
you
something
know,
for Scream 6 before the film comes out.
I'm just now being able to ramp stuff back up because I've been in that coding boot camp for so long, and finally I'm through with it, and
Nice.
I'm just like, you know what? Something's been missing out of my life, and it's you guys. Like I just
That's right.
I just I don't even like. It's weird because like the friends I've grown up with for years or something that want to hang out on the weekends or go somewhere. I'm like, no, I kind of want to just hang out at the house and be on a stream with y'all. Like I don't really want
Right.
to. I don't want to go out, you know, to the bars or something like that, you know,
Right.
like every once in a while, you know, meet up, but I can't be doing that like every weekend like they're still doing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's like a couple of myself and a couple coworkers, we go out bowling
Yeah.
after work on Saturdays sometimes. And a couple Saturdays ago, they all went and it was like, "Yo, Marcus, you coming tonight?" I'm like, "Nah, not tonight, guys. I gotta get some content done." Like,
Yeah. You
I
got to.
gotta
There's only so much time. Whenever you start
exactly.
editing and start making videos and stuff, you realize like I only got just a little bit of time to work with.
That's true. That
So
is so true.
yeah.
Time is a really big thing as a content creator.
Yep.
It's not enough of it.
Not at all, man.
Dark Shadows 47. Oh, well, I appreciate your comment and opinion, but I hope not. But Dark Shadows 47 says, I think they would kill Terror off.
I have something to say on that.
Okay, go for it, buddy.
Um
Shoot.
I would not be surprised if this is Tara's last go out. What am I trying to say?
I wouldn't
Outing?
be
Yeah,
either.
last entry. And yes, it does suck because she is real big right now. She is a likable character. She's big with Wednesday. There's been rumors that Disney and Marvel have approached Tara or Jenna Ortega. So depending on what type of contract she's under with Scream is not gonna pay for their characters like Disney or Marvel or something like that. And if they're trying to scoop her up now and she's not under like a 3 movie deal or whatever the case, they might have no choice but to kill her off
Right.
because she might be jumping ship and she'd be like, "Hey, this is my last one, so you got to figure something out." And
Right.
that might be putting the writers in a corner to where they're like, "Well, let's just make her a ghost face. We'll go out with a bang." you know?
That's not impossible. We do see in the trailer she's stabbing somebody.
Yeah. And like I make videos about, everyone talks about that look she's making. And then like right after all this stuff, all this speculation was going out, we get that TV spot and we see a ghost face below her. I made a video about it, so
Right.
I kind of like debunked my theory. But then I was hearing things that they added CGI to hide the
Yeah.
reveal of Ghostface. So I was like, was that the CGI? Did they put a mask in the background just to make it look like it's not her? Like
That's
that's where my
interesting.
so I was like, well, okay, maybe I got to debunking my theory. Like
That is interesting.
this movie's got it's making me think a lot.
Yeah, man. No, that's a hell of a fucking theory, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Like, I knew about the CGI, but in terms of that being there to cover the fact that she is Ghostface,
Yeah.
that's a cool ass theory, man. That's not impossible. It's not impossible at all.
Because
And I
it's
agree
it's
with
a it's a
everything
blurred
you said.
image, but you can make out that it's a ghost face mask. But it would be so easy to plug that in and then blur
Right,
it, kind of distort it a little bit, and just kind of like, okay, well now they're not going to think that Tara's a killer because we just put that in there and it
right.
looks like a killer's below her. So whoever is doing these trailers, they deserve some props, man,
They
because
do.
they're this. I don't know I mean. Even Scream 5, the trailer was good, but this one is insane. Like
It
this one,
is.
it's just we're all kind of like this could go either way.
Right.
So I
And
just
I
hope.
was talking about that earlier on the stream because Bluck had said that he didn't like how much they were altering the scenes. And I said, I think that's brilliant. Why? Because it's keeping us speculating. It's keeping us guessing as to what could happen. Which way could they go? You know, we make a big fuss of them showing us exactly what they're going to show us in the movie. Why not like the fact that they're showing us stuff that we think is going to be in the movie, but we can clearly see that these scenes are edited and it might not happen. I'm cool with that. I'm
I
cool.
am too.
I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, yeah. I want it to be like when I'm watching the movie, it plays out a completely different way than what we think. Like
Right.
this was like an alternate take that we didn't see originally. Like I'd be even okay with the whole Gale Weathers scene where they're editing And or like when they're the clip that just came out, like what if it doesn't even start off like that? Maybe that's like a different alternate take, and maybe from all these different images we've gotten from the Gale getting her phone call and having that chase, maybe most of it's not even in the movie, and maybe it goes in a totally different direction.
Right. Absolutely, because we definitely see in the trailers that it looks like Gale runs into that room first to get the gun,
It
and then
does.
she shoots through the door, and then we get this, new clip where we clearly see her get chased onto the back of the patio or the balcony,
Yeah.
whatever it is, the side of the house, and we can, we're going to talk about that as well, but you can make the argument that she could die there. You can make the argument that she made her way back into the house, which prompted her to go into the room to get the gun. We don't know because they've given us so many different, like scenes on these chase scenes and on these scenes overall that it's like, okay, well, this could happen, but this could happen as well. And I think it's brilliant. I do.
You know what I would think, or what I think would be really mean, but if I was writing it and we had like this epic chase scene, it looks like it is. It looks like it's going to be stretched out. You're not going to
Mhm.
know which way it's going to go. But here's the thing, and every time that like the Gale almost dying in Scream 4 when she was setting up the cameras or finding the cameras and everything, and she got stabbed at the stabathon at the top. You thought she was going to die in that trailer, and then Dewey comes in and shoots and he runs off. I don't
Right.
want another scene like that with Gil. I don't want it being right there at the nick of time and she gets saved again. No, this time with it looks like like you see where Ghostface actually gets on top of her and has that
Mhm.
knife over her head,
Mhm.
and maybe she says something like, you know, what'd she say in one movie? Like, "Do it if you got the guts," or something. She said that like in Scream 4. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Say this scene right here. This is where he actually has her down. They're back
Mhm.
in the house after running through her kitchen, through the balcony. She comes back in. Maybe she locks him. Maybe there's two doors and she locks him out on the balcony, but he comes back in that way. And she kind of gets away and she runs to her room, gets the gun, shoots through the door. He
Mhm.
busts through, and then he pins her down on the ground right here, and maybe she says something similar to what she said in Scream 4 is like, uh do it if you got the guts, or go ahead and get it over with. And
Yeah.
the camera just cuts away, and then
Mm.
I would have it to where maybe our characters, I would say like Sam and Tara, are going to, it immediately cuts to Sam and Tara down on the street level, walking, going to get Gail or going to check on her for whatever reason. And right before they get to her apartment, Gail's
Mm.
body drops right in front of everybody that's walking on the streets, just splats.
That
Similar,
that scene where they're walking up and you see all the cops.
yeah.
Holy shit.
And it's like she just, they're just walking, and then boom, just Gale Weathers just hits the ground. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, is that the news lady? Is that the lady from the morning show?" Blah 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 blah. And then it's all over the news, and it's a big thing. You
Yeah.
know, the author of the Woodsboro murders is murdered. It's going to be huge, and
Absolutely.
it would play out similar to you seen that movie The Departed, where
Yes.
the chief gets
Yep.
thrown off and
Yep.
Leo gets down to the bottom, and he's just walking, and then splat right in front
Yep.
of him. Something similar like that. And I think that would be a crazy way for Gail to go out. Like, instead of him stabbing her and killing her like that, he just throws her over
Oh
because
no,
they're so
man.
high up.
You might be onto something with that because we do get that scene where we see Tara and Sam just walking up
Hmm.
and they look like they see something like they're having an oh shit moment.
Yep.
So it's definitely possible, man. That's interesting, man. But yeah, I'm gonna
In
grab
my
a couple.
mind, that's how I have it all played out.
Hey,
So,
it's not a bad thing to think of, man, especially when you piece these scenes together. You know what I mean? And I was talking about that earlier about piecing these scenes together, like how everybody thought that the body bag scene was Samara Weaving, and I don't think so because I pieced that together. That body bag is in the same exact alleyway from the ladder scene. How I know this is because you see Samantha standing outside where the gates are. You see Dermot and the rest of the cops rolling through, and it's the same lighting. It's the same like daytime. You can see like it's lights and all that stuff like that outside, and it's the
Mhm.
same exact alleyway that from the ladder scene. It's not Samara's alleyway. So I think
Hmm.
whoever is getting zipped up in that body bag is either going to be Annika or Mindy.
Hmm.
I don't
Okay.
think I don't think that because I pieced it together because a
I
lot of
I I
people
think it's gonna be Annika. I
I think
I I
so too.
I kinda broke that down a little bit, and they kinda
Yeah,
did some trickery with some of the spots, and I was like, "Hold on, no, Annika is behind Mindy in this scene, so she has to
right.
be after Mindy crawling out there." So, maybe that's the CGI that they're talking about that they changed up. Maybe they took her out of that shot or something, I don't know.
Maybe.
But I don't know if, that's, I kept thinking like, okay, say he flips the ladder and makes her fall. Was that high enough to kill somebody or just to hurt
Oh,
him real
yeah.
bad?
Oh,
Was
yeah,
it?
buddy. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Hell yeah.
That's a drop. They done for her.
She's
There
gonna
ain't
land
no
on a
coming
gate.
back from that. There
I
is
was thinking
none.
that I was thinking that it'd be really crazy if she like flips over, lands, and like breaks her leg and a bone sticking out, but she can't run
Ooh,
now. And she's just
ooh,
crawling and screaming for help. And you see people walking out by the streets, but no one can hear her
right.
because the traffic or whatever the case, it being New York City. And, maybe it's a race of time of like our characters rushing down to try to save her and Ghostface on the other side rushing down and he kills her before they even get there. So I don't know. Like I think that like
Right.
I've always liked scenes like that where somebody's injured and they can't run away and like a killer like walks up and like takes their time and it's just like savoring the moment
Slowly,
before they take it. Yeah.
menacingly.
And he's just like walking like, yeah, you can't run. You can't do anything. And he's just like letting them freak out for a little bit and then he takes them out. Yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I just want to see some really cool, unique kills in this. I want them to get mean.
Right. I still think we're definitely going to get them. I'm actually pulling up the ladder scene right now so you can see how high this bad boy is.
Okay.
It's damn near the top. It literally is. It's like I want to say maybe a floor from the top floor.
All right.
Okay, let me get this bad boy up here. There we go. Brand. Add overlay. Little lag. No good. Ran into a quick lag there, real quick.
It happens, man.
All right, here we go. Here goes the ladder. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that is pretty. Yeah. But I mean, is the camera
Yeah.
at level right here though? Because that's like what, one, two, three, four, maybe five levels.
See, I want to say the ladder from what I can see. Damn, that is
Unless
a pretty
she
grainy
lands on her
shot.
head.
But I want to say the ladder is like right around there, like right here, maybe. Yeah. So I definitely think that's high enough that if somebody drops, it's a wrap.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Probably. I was just wondering, like, I was thinking that like if they do that early in the movie, um, and they fall, that kind of makes me think they might not do that with Gale too, making her fall from something. I mean, they might still do it,
Right.
but you know, it would have to be just a little bit different. I don't see them doing the same kill twice in the same movie, you know. Even though one's on a ladder and the other one's just being thrown off, it's still kind of the same thing. You're getting thrown from heights.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think if they do one, like basically toss kill, I don't think they're gonna do two.
Yeah.
Let's check up on some of these comments real quick. Val says, "Got to get rid of the legacy characters if you want to carry on the Scream universe." I agree with that too. You know, what I mean, if we want to keep making Scream movies, at some point we're gonna have to detach from those old characters.
Yeah.
We have plenty of movies that we can reminisce with them.
And here's another thing, everybody. This is one thing I want to say is like they could always do a requel and bring them back if they do a direct sequel to the first film.
Yeah.
Look how they did Laurie Strode with the Halloween movies.
Yep.
I mean, it could always happen because I always thought, I was like, wouldn't it be wild if they did go back and like did a direct sequel from Scream and picked up from there, and Stab wasn't really a thing. Like it went in a totally different direction, you know? Because sometimes I feel like that's where the movie kind of like touched a little bit on Scary Movie level is when we
Right.
introduced Stab.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a little
I
bit.
remember being a kid in the theaters watching Scream 2 and seeing that opening scene and seeing the stab play out in their theater, and I'm just like, "What is this?" Like,
Yeah.
and then the part where you get Luke Wilson playing
Yes.
Billy.
Yeah,
Like,
and
what is this like, Tori Spelling playing Sydney is just like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
she
it
called
was
it.
just a little bit, but then they went full-fledged in Scream 3, and I was just like, "Man, we don't
Yeah,
have to focus on Stab so much," you know? But
right.
I know it's like meta commentary, but it's just they could still just, you know, maybe just go in a different direction, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure they could. They're definitely hinting at it with these trailers.
Yeah.
So real Frank Peters asked us, Gale would get killed off. Well, we obviously don't know just yet, Frank. We haven't obviously watched the movie. It comes out next week, but we are just speculating. We do think it's a high possibility that her characters are gone. I definitely do for sure. I think time's up. Down goes Weathers. Hashtag it. Like it's going down, man. I think it's time. I do.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, maybe it should have happened sooner. One can argue, but I definitely do think this one time's up.
I would much rather have Dewey back and have Gil gone in the last one, you know? Like, I mean, I just
Right?
kind of feel like Dewey was kind of the heart of the franchise. Like, I was like, man, even though how bad it hurt, it still hurts. I'm still not over it.
Right.
I just, you know, I always wanted to see because he was innocent, you know, I always wanted to see
Right.
him make it out, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's Dewey we're talking about here. I
Yeah.
mean, it's to do. Like, you can't root against that guy. Like, you want him back in every single film because
Yep.
you get that you as a fan, you feel that real life aspect coming from the screen from him that he's somebody who genuinely cares. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and I that resonates. You know what I mean? So it still it bugs me still too. I hate even having to go back and look at that scene just to keep trying to prove points that Amber ain't the one who did it, just because I
Right.
hate having to watch it. You know what I mean?
I would
But
have believed it if Richie did it instead of Amber. I was just
right,
like, you know,
absolutely,
if they just would have played that out just in a different way, you know, like instead of Richie showing up, it'd be Amber showing up and then Ghostface showing up, you know, just play out just a little bit different. But that was the big reveal was Richie, even though the trailers kind of ruined that. We kind of were expecting it.
right,
We were like watching it. We're like, yeah, this could play out that it's him. The whole time
absolutely.
I was like, yep, he's in my back pocket. Like, I think it's him. I don't want it to be, but I think it is.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. My sister, when we went to go see it last year, she called it in the theater. She was like, "Yeah, it's the boyfriend." I was just
Yeah.
like, "Damn, all right."
I
I,
just
I
I
didn't
was
even
just
get to the
surprised they
breakdown
did the
yet.
boyfriend thing again. I was just kind of like, man, really? But
I mean, Dewey called it. It's the
yeah,
love interest.
yep,
Like,
yep,
but
he did.
definitely, man, I can't wait for this freaking film to come out. I definitely again did not think I was going to be this excited for it without Nev Campbell in it.
I
And
know.
Kelly Williams says it's a bold move to kill Gale without Sydney potentially never coming back. Nevertheless, let her and Sid be the OGs that could come back after 7 with only new cast members.
I got something to say to
Yeah,
that.
go for it. Go for it, Dustin.
Okay. Here's the thing: is I think we will see Nev Campbell back. I really do. I think that Paramount Plus or Paramount has had a record recently about not paying actors right or female leads right, female actors at that. They just came out with a thing, and I'm not going to go too far down this way, but I got a point.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Take your
They're
time.
trying to make a reunion of Mean Girls, and they all got lowballed offers, every one of them, and they all like denied or something. Like I don't really know the whole story, but they're still in negotiations. But like the first offer, it was like a big thing that like they're all like, no, we're not coming back for that price.
Right.
So apparently Paramount has this, reputation that they just don't pay females well in their films. And here's another thing is that Courtney Cox has always been the highest paid actor in all these movies
Oh,
over
wow.
over Nev Campbell. Yeah. Because of star power and stuff like that.
And Friends and all that.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the thing is that if you look at it from a business standpoint, if Courtney Cox, they made some deal and she's executive producer now and maybe has some sort of creative control over this movie and maybe the next one or whatever other film she's executive producing on, that and they kill her off. Say they kill her off in this one. That gives more buying power to Nev.
It does.
That's going to be incentive to get her back. Okay, well, we don't have. I'm just saying here, if we don't have Gale, and if they get rid of Tara or Kirby, that's also more buying power to get Nev back. And that might be the way they're doing it as far as like structuring business wise. They're like, all right, we got this amount of money to pay our actors. And if they get rid of Courtney's salary, then they're like, okay, well, we'll give that to Nev and she'll say yes.
Right. No, I really agree with that point. And I'm glad you actually brought up Jenna as well, because I was going to bring that up too. If you move Courtney out the way by killing her, and then you're going to kill off Tara's character, Jenna, you know what I mean? Especially now that Jenna is like massive, she's going to want big money. So now you move 2 big high dollar salaries out the way so you can maybe afford Nev's asking price. Even if you keep Hayden around, which that's a toss up as well, especially if she's Ghostface. I think she's going to die. But if you get at least 2 out of the 3 killed off in this film, now you do alleviate yourself financial wise to bring Nev back and have that capital to do so.
Right.
So I definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? But definitely a good point though, Kelly, for sure. You know what I mean? I mean, I'll say this. It's a bold move, but not really we just talked about it. At some point, you got to move on from the legacy characters. So, I mean, it's somewhat of a bold move, but it's also somewhat of something that needs to be done to a degree.
Right.
So, again, I mean, I think her dying is a good way to write Sydney back in the story.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a way to get her back to Woodsboro or something.
Right. Absolutely. Wayne Turner in the chat. What is going on, Wayne? Glad to see you stopping in, my friend. Wayne saying, hi, I shot him times and Destin. It is 3:43 p.m. Friday here in Sydney, Australia. You know I
Oh
love those
wow.
updates, my man. You know I love it. I love it when he does that, man. I do. It just gets
What's
me
up, Wayne?
fired up. It gets me
Yeah.
fired up, man.
I wish it was
All right, my
3:43
friend.
right now.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's get on to some more Gale Weathers conversation and about the shrine. So I'm gonna ask you first, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get your take on it first, and then I'm gonna, give my side of it. Whose shrine do you think it is?
Honestly, at this point, I think it's a part of a theater of some sort. Um, Maybe it's part of that play, the
Yep.
wrongfully accused or wherever they're having that at. Or it might be a part of something that's been there, and it's a I mean, because we see a bunch of stab posters at this theater just for
Yep.
you blink and you miss it. Um, so I'm thinking that it's probably going to be just a part. It's probably just locked away, and it's probably like maybe just a bunch of props. I don't know if it's actually going to be from the actual events. You
Right.
know, it might be just from them making making the plays. Like they've
Mm-hmm.
turned all the stab movies into plays now, and these are all the props to that. So,
Yep. So I'm gonna
but
ask you real
there,
quick. Did
but
you
I do
see the New York New Rules trailer that dropped like 2 days ago, 3 days
pro-
ago?
probably I've been watching them all that come out.
Well, the reason why I say that is because we are on the same path. Because we get this shot in that trailer of Gail. We hear her say to Samantha and Tara, "You guys need to see this." And then it cuts to this scene right here.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
catch
I
it.
did. Yep.
Yep. You got to catch it. And that right there, in my opinion, is evidence that that the shrine is part of the wrongfully accused set, and that
Yeah.
Gail might be a part of the promotion. Why else would she
Ooh.
have a card? That reminds me of Scream 3 with Jennifer Jolie at Sunrise Studios.
Yeah.
You
I was
know,
about to say that's
Gale
like them trying
Weathers
to get
will find a
access. Yeah.
way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As soon as I saw that, bro, I was just like, okay, it's not any one Ghostface or maybe the mastermind Ghostface's shrine. It's not like, maybe cops, brought all this evidence here. This is a clear indicator that this is definitely part of the wrongfully accused play. If
Mhm.
she's having a card that's getting into this building and it, opens the door to the building, to me, that's all the evidence that I need to know. And everything that is there is being used in that play.
Good
So we're
catch,
on the
man.
same,
You
yeah,
know,
we're on the
that
same
that
path with that.
I never even thought that she would be the one running the studio, the play. Like that's interesting. And it's not an elevator. You see it, they're walking up steps.
Yep.
So it's upstairs.
Yep.
So that shrine is upstairs. It almost makes you have like a basement feel a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, it's definitely upstairs. Man, so she's just so there that goes towards the theory that Gail is just profiting, and she didn't do what she said in Scream 5, and that's going to be her sin that gets her killed.
Yep. Yep. Yes, sir. I agree with that.
Wow.
Especially they made it a point, Destin, that her books are going to be featured. The Requel book, the
Mhm.
wrongfully accused book is a play, the book about Cotton and Marine. This is about, and just like I said, this is about her sins over all these course of all these years. You keep
Right.
profiting off the pain of other people, off victims, and it's like we see sometimes you have some remorse, but when it comes down to it, you are still Gale Weathers. You are still bloodthirsty for that fame and that acknowledgement, that Pulitzer Prize that you swear to win one day, detective. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, she's still
All I
about
can
that life.
all I can hear is like Jigsaw going, "What would you do to survive?" or something, you spent so many years profiting off of killings and bloodshed.
Bro, wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy if they brought the Scream 3 voice changer back, and when he first calls,
Dude,
that's how he sounds? It's like Jigsaw.
dude,
Oh.
damn. Dude, that would be crazy. Hey man, they do need to bring that in some way. I mean, you're gonna have all these props, but you're not even gonna show, at least show it. You don't have to use it. I would like for you to use it at least once.
Again,
But
bro, I
I
think you can make the argument that they used it in Scream 5. I still make that argument at the opening scene. If we're expecting, I mean, we obviously think that it was somebody else, obviously, there with Tara outside of Richie and Amber.
mhm,
But if let's just go with the fact that it's them,
mhm.
we have to take into account how would they be able to switch their voice from Roger L's normal voice to Ghostface? Like I
I
get it.
don't know. That was kind of like how the first Scream was. He was just talking regularly and just having a
Yeah,
conversation with Casey Becker, and then he just turns on a dime.
yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, and maybe it's just me. When you go back and listen, you can tell that's Billy.
Yeah, and
You can tell that's Billy on the Ghostface changer. It's not Roger L. It's Billy. You can definitely tell by the voice comparison. That is Skeet. That is definitely
what
Skeet.
did are you sure? Because I didn't know that he actually voiced anything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Skeet did?
Skeet, bro. They said that they were having issues with the original voice changer, which is why in certain instances you can make out his voice.
Hmm.
Yup, they were having issues with that original Ghostface voice changer. Yes,
Hmm.
and if you and even the Sydney scene when he's Scary Night, hasn't it? It's like with the murders, it seems like just out of a horror movie. If you really listen, bro, you could tell that's fucking Skeet all the
Damn.
way, especially in that scene. Like when I go
Damn.
back and rewatch Scream '96, I ain't even gonna lie, I just start laughing and I'm just like Skeet.
Hey, he's a lot
Like,
shorter in person than I thought he was. Like
yeah,
whenever I met him.
he's 6 feet even.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 6 feet.
Hmm.
Yeah, Matthew 6'4", Jamie's 6 foot, and he's 6 foot.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, do you think they're gonna have a return of Billy in this one? You think we're gonna see him? Hey, wouldn't that be crazy if that's how it ends? Is that everything's done and then we see Sam like in her house or apartment and she's kind of
Mhm.
like in the bathroom and she closes the mirror and
Excuse me.
Billy's just standing there and it cuts off.
Well, I'd like to think that if they made it a point in terms of her mental health or her, psychotic, tendencies or whatever she goes through,
Mhm.
if they made it a point that she sees hallucinations when she's in high stress situations,
Yeah.
I'd like to think that they would incorporate that in 6 too. Now, could they try to not to make it seem like she's growing away and out of that? Yeah, but then again, I don't think it would make too much sense because you already set that tone that when she's in high stress situations and
Mhm.
her mind is racing all over the place, she sees him.
Yeah.
So I do think that they should, and that I mean that's another thing we're not looking at. I mean, what if he's just a special cameo? You know,
Yeah. I don't I
I
think
don't
that's a
think
cop
so.
out a little bit too because we've already seen him in 5. We're kind of
Right.
expecting it a little bit. So it's like I don't really feel like it's a cameo. I
Me
feel like it
neither.
needs to be somebody else.
Me neither. I'm just saying, like, if they, just wanted to fuck with people to think that we were really going to get somebody else, it could
Yeah.
just be him,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
because there is speculation going around whether he's going to be in it or not. So,
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
I think we'll see something of him. I think there's going to be a point where Sam, and I really think it's going to be around that point where we see Sam with the gun, and she's kind of like, you know,
right.
looking crazy a little bit. But I want to see more things like as far as like in Scream 1, I might already told you this. I know I put it in a video, but whenever Billy was holding the gun in Scream 1 over Dewey and Gale, and he's like, it works so much better without the
Yep. And
safety
he,
on.
and
And
cracks
he's
his
like,
neck.
yeah.
Yep.
Like I want to see Sam do something like that, or just give us a little bit of like, okay, yeah, you're his daughter. Yep, she's got it.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, like, I can't help but think that I can't help but think that there's no way she's not involved because obviously this story and this Ghostface is following Gale Weathers, and we're going
Mhm.
to New York where Gale Weathers is.
Right.
All of a sudden, they just all happen to go to New York.
Hmm.
It seems a little too pre-planned for me. Like I just,
Yeah, it
man,
is. I've thought that from
Gail,
the beginning.
right? And
I didn't mean to
Gail,
cut you off.
obviously, she could have a lot of enemies. She could definitely have a lot of enemies. But what puts Sam to the forefront once again, if you're want to make theories about her being Ghostface, is now that Gail's profiting off of her story.
Hmm.
Gail is profiting off of her story in the events of Scream 5, much like she did with Sidney Prescott. And also, if Samantha is already a mastermind, like I believe she is, and Gail was already planned to be a target, let's say if they basically, the plan is to take out all the legacy characters, Dewey, Gail, Sidney, or whatever. If my theory is correct that Sidney is Samantha's mother, well, that also gives more incentive for Sam to kill Gail because now you did it to my family twice. You put my mom through the pain of writing all these books, and now you're doing the same to me. Gotta go.
Yeah. I would have liked
So
to have seen in Scream 5 when Gale did arrive to Woodsboro, if we saw some townspeople being like hating on her, like none of this would have happened if you didn't write that book or start that you started this, like you know, like when she came to Woodsboro and Scream 5. Like I just
say that again because we lagged out for a quick second.
oh yeah, I was saying that like I think it would have been cool to see kind of in Scream 5 when Gale comes to Woodsboro after Judy's death. Um if like certain townspeople are like, this never, at the hospital being like somebody giving her an attitude and she's like, what? And she's just like, none of this would ever happen again. This keeps happening because you keep giving it energy. You keep
Right.
promoting it. And kind of like just showing that she's not loved in the town of Woodsboro. And maybe that was one of the reasons why she left.
Right. That too. And it's interesting that you brought that up because Gail even herself blames herself in Scream 5 in the car with Sydney.
Yeah. Yep.
She said, "Oh, if I would have never wrote these books about your mom, this never would have happened. This is my fault." And I find that so bittersweet because right after that, Sydney says it's not your fault, Gail. It's Billy Loomis's fault. Makes no
Hmm.
mention of Stu Macher, makes no mention of Roman, but that's neither here or there or
Hmm.
whatever. And she tells Gail, after this, no more movies, no more books, no more fucking Ghostface. And
Yeah.
what does Gail go on and do? Make another book, and now we're getting a play.
Right.
Like, Gail, it's just like she's begging for it at this point. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like,
I think we're gonna see her struggle with some hate
oh, yeah.
after what happened to Dewey. Um and maybe she at this point she just feels like unstoppable. Like she has to do work to keep her mind busy and not focus on that type of stuff, you know?
Right. No,
So,
I agree. It could be. It definitely could be that. I
but I
just
still think I still think I'll put money on it. I think Gail's a goner.
I do too. I definitely do. I think that they are slowly but surely showing us that they are moving away from the legacy characters.
Mhm.
The only one who might seem untouchable unless they can somehow get her to agree to do it, and I think they would have to almost double her salary to get her to say yes. But the only one I think is untouchable is Sydney.
Yeah,
You know what I
I do
mean?
too.
But I mean, we seen Jamie Lee agree to get killed off.
Yeah.
So, you know, but this is why I don't think that will happen with Nev. And this is why I do think there's definitely more story with her character that links in with Samantha. Nev herself said that it was disappointing that they couldn't get a contract done because she still feels that there's a lot of story to be told for Sidney Prescott.
Yeah.
And I always took that as like, well, maybe there's another backstory with Sydney that we don't know about,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So again, man, I definitely do think that they are moving away from Gale Weathers, and I do think that they're hinting that they're getting away from the legacy characters, but the only one who's going to make it out of the legacy characters, like the OGs, is Nev. But
Yeah.
I agree that Gale is a goner. Now,
I also think that with saying that Gail is going to be gone, I think there's going to be somebody that takes the reign. I think there's going to be somebody else that is the new hot reporter, the new up and coming, to keep this thing going. And we might be introduced to that character in this one.
that's very possible. That is very possible. Man, I wonder who that could be.
I mean, there could be just, there could be some like animosity with some other reporter at the morning show that we might get an interaction with Gail and her. And then,
Maybe it's that guy on a TV screen in the poster reporting the Mackenzie murders.
yeah, could be that. It could be, wouldn't it be crazy if say what happens is Gail gets dropped, splat. When the news shows up, that person that doesn't like Gail comes and reports the news,
That would be nuts.
being like, "Oh shit."
How do you feel about this? And I know it's a stretch, but I don't think it's impossible. What if they decide to turn to Gale?
Mm.
Like, what if she just finally said enough with being the victim and I'm just gonna play ball? I have all the resources. You know what I mean? Like,
I would see it as a way that she set someone up to do it more than her being underneath
right.
the mask.
I can agree with that.
Like her being like, "You weren't supposed to get caught."
Right.
Like she wants somebody to do the dirty work for her, but she be the mastermind behind it. Yeah, I could see
Right.
something like that. But her like actually doing the
No,
killings underneath the ghost face, I don't think I want to see that.
me neither.
I think it'd be too distracting than accepting. Um
Right.
Especially at this point, I mean, like everything that we've already seen, it's like, no, somebody's trying to kill her. Like she's definitely a victim.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, I just find it fascinating a little bit, just kind of bring it up with the whole shrine, and it seems like she is doing some type of promotion for the play and all
Hmm.
that stuff. Now, I'll ask you this about the wrongfully accused play.
Hmm.
Do you think it'll be about Cotton or Samantha? Because remember, there's been a lot of rumors coming out about a lot of fans in the Stab universe are accusing Samantha that she's involved.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
I mean, that could definitely be on the table, maybe wrongfully accused is about Samantha as opposed to Cotton Weary.
Could be
Because
about
Cotton
both of them. There might
maybe?
be there
What
might
if
be
they
something
mesh them
there.
together?
Yeah. You know, it just makes me think Cotton. Um, yeah, because I mean, like that's where it all started, and
Right?
like, and thinking about it, how this could play out if Gale is behind the plays and wrongfully accused, and this scene with Gale and this whole entire chase, maybe it does cut away where the knife is over Gale,
Mhm.
and we don't know what happens. Maybe she doesn't get thrown off. Maybe she gets kidnapped again, like in Scream 3 or something. And maybe she gets tied up on the set of the shrine, kind of like how Derek was at the end of Scream 2.
Mm,
And
okay.
that's where maybe that's where the whole thing is. And like maybe Ghostface comes out, all this is because of her. This is, none of this would have
Right.
happened. And then they give out their motive of why they did what they did because it
Right.
affected them, all this kind of stuff. Um, and maybe Gale is the bait to bring them back to the shrine,
I'm
you
not
know?
gonna lie. You know what also that made me think of? Is
What?
if, they kidnap her and she's tied up or whatever, what if she pulls a fucking Mark Hoffman from Saw and she unties herself and reveals herself?
Oh, dang. That would be a damn twist right
Oh,
there.
man.
That'd be
That would
crazy.
be
Like,
crazy.
yeah,
I definitely don't think they would go in that direction with Gail's character.
yeah,
I do think that I think this story is gonna center around her and Kirby.
yeah.
And I I I I definitely think because the thing that intrigues me about Kirby, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the dialogue where she says, "I've been investigating Ghostface attacks." Now, did she say it was specifically in New York, or did she just say attacks? Because I can't remember if she said if
No,
it was
she
just
says something similar to, "Oh, Ghostface is here in New York. I've been investigating Ghostface
Ghostface
attack," or something,
attacks.
or something like that. I'd have to. I know what you're saying. I'm not quite sure how it was
Right,
said though. Um, but yeah, I mean, because I mean, we see that one poster where it's like the Mackenzies or something like that,
mhm,
on the poster. So maybe
yep,
that's what she's investigating. Um, she definitely wasn't in Woodsboro that we know of Scream 5. So how long have you been investigating it? Has there been other Ghostface attacks in the same, during the same time that Scream 5 was going on? You know, maybe there was
right,
other attacks around the place that and maybe some of them were false and some of them aren't a part of anything, but some of them are serious, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna play that. Oh, it's not cheesy.
right.
That's what I'm worried about. Don't make Kirby's character cheesy.
I think the key to that dialogue is attacks. Who was
Yeah.
attacked? And it doesn't say murdered. So who was attacked and why were they left alive?
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Ah,
attacks. It's
man,
not killings.
right. It's
Okay.
attacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my thing is this. Okay, so Kirby, you've been investigating Ghostface attacks, right? So let's just say you've been investigating Ghostface attacks outside New York. How how fitting and ironic that you show up to New York and Ghostface now shows up to New York.
Right. That's what I'm saying from earlier. Like you even mentioned it a little bit. It's all like very convenient writing that all this is happening. You got Kirby here, you got Gail here, you got them all going to college here. Like and like how and why? You
Right,
know? I hope it's not just like plugged in, like, yeah, this is where everybody is now.
right,
No. How and why did you come here? Give me reasons. We know why Gail's there, but how
right.
and why did y'all all choose to go to New York? And maybe they got a scholarship, or something. I don't know. But Kirby as well. Yeah, it's got to be something. It's got to be something there, man. It's like this
Right.
movie could be 3, 4, 5 hours long. I would not care. Like I want to know
Right.
everything. Like
Everything.
it can be as long as it wants to
Every
be.
everything, bro. Everything. I'm right there on board with you with that. I wouldn't care if it was a 4 or 5 hour movie neither. As long as you explain everything I need to know and it makes sense and it's great, I'm on
Yeah,
board for it. You know,
right.
like oh, man, it's I can't wait. One more week.
One more week, man. And I'm telling you, look, I already got my tickets for the 5:30 showing at a
Nice.
theater. And then I found out there's a Scream fan event that they just announced the other day. And it's only at 5 o'clock showing at a different theater. I
Ah,
don't get off work till 5 o'clock. So I'm like, I want to change because I think they're giving you like some type of like metal poster or
oh
something like
shit.
that, and they might be
Nice.
doing something else. I don't know, but it's only for one showing at certain theaters, and they did like a screen fan event for Scream 5, but they did it after the release of Scream 5. They brought it back to theaters, and
Okay.
they had a little Scream fan event, and I went to see it and actually made a video about it, and it was like some baby back bullshit. It was all it was like before the movie, all it was like a behind the scenes talk about the film that has been on YouTube for like 2, 3 weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah. And I'm like, I've seen this so many times, and all y'all, and that's the fan event. Y'all just plugged in this
Right.
video before the movie. I'm like, I mean, I'm glad I supported the movie again, but
Yeah.
that
Like they
is
got
that what
over
this
on
is going
that
to
one.
be? Yeah.
Yeah, they
I'm
definitely
wondering if
got over it.
Yeah.
Now,
So if we
real
see
quick,
something like that here soon, we're gonna be like, oh, that's gonna be what's the fan event. They're just gonna add a little video before the movie.
right. Now, something interesting that you pointed out about that whole fan event is that they're giving out metal Ghostface posters. Who wore
Yeah,
the
yeah.
who wore the metal Ghostface mask in Scream 5?
Oh, hey. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I I'm just saying another Easter egg right there, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Like, you
Hey,
know what I mean?
I want that aged mask though. I want
I
that right
know,
back there with the rest of my stuff, whatever. However
I
you can
know,
see it.
bro. That age mask, it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
I will say this though, you know what I mean? And we could I'm gonna say you gotta be up early for work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it here soon.
Okay, I'm about to say, we'll probably, talk for a few about another 5, 10 minutes. You good with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll probably talk for another 5, 10 minutes, and then we're gonna call it a stream. I am gonna obviously zoom through some of the chats, you know what I mean, see what's up with everybody. Again, everybody, I'm sorry I could not keep up with everybody's chats tonight, but you guys already know when I have a guest on and we're conversating like this, it just flows. It just goes.
Mhm.
So real quick or whatnot. See, I kind of lost my train of thought with that. I'm not even gonna lie.
It happens, man.
um, shit, I forget where I was
You
going
can't
with.
edit that out. It's not a video, it's live.
Right, exactly. Oh man,
Hey,
but
I started plugging in because sometimes I have like those like I call it a brain fart.
right.
And
No, it definitely is because you'll have something right there, and then it's just like you get sidetracked for a second. It's just like, oh shit, I forgot that.
yeah, I was like, am I getting old? What's going on here? So like a lot of times I would cut those moments out, but then I found a clip just to kind of make it funny because I do it more often than I should. And you ever seen Don't Be a Menace South
Oh
Central
yeah.
while drinking when his dad's giving him a haircut and he like slaps him in the back of the head, he's like, get to the damn fucking point. I'll plug that in
Yeah.
just because that's how I'm thinking. I'm like, damn, Dustin, get to the point.
Oh man, it happens though. You know what I mean? Especially when we're sifting through so much conversation and just information, that shit will happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It definitely will. But that was damn sure a good reference. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Don't be a menace.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it
Classic.
is.
But okay. So
Al said I'm getting old. I see that. I'm feeling it. Hey, I'm actually feeling it. My 37th birthday is coming up in April. Man,
Oh, hey man, you're in your prime. You ain't getting old.
I wish I felt that way. But it's all good.
Okay, so
It's all
now,
good.
okay, so I'm glad I looked to the comments because now I got back what I was thinking about or whatever. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so did you see the Scream 6 fan experience photos of the case of Billy's
Yes.
and all that?
Yes.
Now, obviously, it could just be, how that mask looks at the fan event, the prop. That's just how the way they designed it.
Mhm.
But that mask that's in that case and the mask that's in the movies, where that crack is on the side of the eye, that where the one that's in the case, that crack is way fatter than the one
Mm.
we see in the Scream in the trailers and all that. Now, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? That could definitely be Billy's mask, and that's just how it looks as a prop. It looks like the tear is fatter.
Yeah.
But we don't see Stu Macher's mask in that shrine. What if
Yeah.
there's two? And now we know for a fact there's no bearded actually shared a photo of another aged mask, but it's not that cracked or whatever. I don't know if you saw that one as well. But what if we had a total of three aged masks in this film?
Mm.
One was
Oh.
Billy's, one was Stu's, and one was somebody else's. Maybe the other one that's not as much deteriorated would be from Scream 4 or 5.
Hmm.
Like, I should pull this shit up because I was on this shit the other night and I was going to do a video about it, and then I got caught up doing my Gale video. But again, I could be wrong, but I just got this feeling that mask that we see in the trailers, they're promoting it so heavy as Billy's.
Yeah.
And I think it could be Stu's, especially when you do the side by side comparison of the mask that's in the case at the fan experience in LA, and then you do the one that's in the trailers.
Yeah.
You can definitely see there's a difference in that mask. And I'd like to think if it's supposed to be Billy Loomis's exact mask, that it would be the exact same like the prop is. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like we see Michael Myers' mask in Halloween Ends. I mean, obviously Christopher fucking Nelson's an animal. You know what I mean? He's otherworldly. But that prop mask looks just like the mask used in the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's interesting. I like that. I think if we had more aged masks, I kind of like that. And I don't think I mean like I know that like I don't know. With that shrine, I think everything mainly is like a prop for the plays,
Hmm.
but I think that the mask is the true mask.
Right.
That's in the case. That's why it's in the case.
Case, yeah.
Is because this is actually they got their hands on the actual evidence of the original killings. But wouldn't it be crazy if it wasn't Billy's mask or costume? It was actually Stu Macher's.
Excuse.
Man, that's something to chew on.
Yeah, man. You know, and what I mean, and I also thought about this as well, is we do see that shot of Samantha holding what we assume to be her dad's mask
Mhm.
or whatnot. But we also see a old aged out mask laying on the ground when the police are pulling up.
Yes.
Now
Also,
I
since
would
you said that, go ahead.
no, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
All right, I was gonna say this earlier, and you just reminded me. When the police show up and everything, have you seen at the end of one of those TV spots where Ghostface is like does the whole
Yeah.
blade, but you see the police lights on his mask?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's right in front of them. Is he wanting to get caught? Like, what if that's part of this killer's motive? Is he wants to get caught for fame?
Mickey's
You froze up.
motive. Mickey's motive essentially.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
what he
Mickey
said?
wanted to get
Remember what he
caught.
said? Mickey wanted to get caught. He said Billy's a sick fuck who wanted to get away with it. Mickey is a sick fuck who wants to get caught. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, bro. Now, okay, so another thing that I thought about in that scene, I'm glad you brought that up. What if, right, that scene with Ghostface doing the knife wipe and the cops are right behind him, right?
yeah,
What if we see as the cops are approaching him, he does the knife wipe and then dips
yeah.
and just dips.
Yeah, what if he's like, like a little bit back and there's a bunch of people in costumes just walking the
Right.
streets and the cops are looking around like, we don't know who is who. What are you
Mm,
talking about? And he
right.
just kind of wipes it and he's kind of looking at Sam and Tara from a distance and then he just goes. He
Excuse me,
just
goes.
he disappears. He's like a ghost. He's fast though. He's he's definitely fast. Man, the
Yeah.
sound effects, that epic score in that scene where he steps out, I'm like, man, this score is
Yo.
great. This all that gave me climax vibes. Like that felt like a climax, him and her. That's why I
Hmm.
think Gail's gonna die because they're making it so epic.
Yep.
They're making it like the sound, he's walking out slowly and then it's on. And I think it's gonna be one of the better chase scenes of the entire franchise. And she's just gonna go out
Yep.
with a bang. I love how like it gave me like Casey Becker vibes
Hmm.
in Scream 1 where Ghostface is chasing and they're out and she's going out going
Yep.
out the glass doors and then he's on the other side and
Yep.
then going around the house. Like it's gonna be like an ongoing chase like Casey Becker's.
No, it definitely does reminisce that opening scene of 96. I
Yeah.
remember I was watching it, the clip from Jimmy Kimmel, and I said that to myself too. I'm like, man, the frying pan, her going out the door like that, the windows and all that.
Yeah.
It definitely does. It kind of reminds you of was it no, Angelina's house in Scream 3 as well. The side of it. How she had, the side patios and stuff where Gale was eavesdropping at and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of looks like that as well.
Yep.
Definitely does look like Gale is living lavish for sure.
Oh yeah.
She's got a nice little sweet crib here in this movie.
Yep.
All that money profiting off of all these murders. Fucking Gale. Oh man. All right, everyone. We're about to wind down this stream. I know that Destin's got to get going. He's probably got an early work day tomorrow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate everybody who did stop into tonight's stream. Again, I understand, we didn't really get to too many comments. We were really flowing with the conversation, but I greatly appreciate everybody who did stop in to show the support, to me and Destin, support our conversation and, have a great time and talk some Scream 6 as we approach 1 week till the film's release. It is super exciting. And I'm sure even with a week left to go, we are both, as well as many other content creators in our wonderful, amazing community, are going to be nailing down some, final thought theories and all that good stuff, leading into the film, getting you guys some content and all that stuff, and just getting ourselves even more prepared as these days and the clock just ticks on down
Yep.
till, the 9th, whether you're going to see it on the 9th, lucky you, if you are, or whether you're going to see it on the 10th. One way or another, we have one more week until this bad boy hits the open market. One more week until hashtag down goes Weathers, in Mrs. Loomis's words, is in full effect. One more week until we possibly see a cult of beautiful Ghostface masks terrorizing New York City. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. I cannot wait to see
I
how
can't
this
either.
movie plays out. And even more so, I cannot wait to get back on some live streams and talk to you, my friend, and all of our other amazing friends in this community that we have built up over the last year, 2 years, that we have been content creating and all that stuff. I cannot wait for us to see this movie and to, narrow down our final thoughts and talk about what we thought, especially going forward for Scream 7. This has to set the tone for us to want to even see a Scream 7. So I'm so pumped for it, man. I cannot wait.
I know, like all day next Thursday, I'm gonna be like, I can't. I think time's gonna go by so slow because I'm just gonna be thinking in the anticipation of just can't wait to get off work, because as soon as I get off at 5 and the movie starts at 5:30. I mean, I'm literally just
like shooting over to the movie theater.
yeah,
Like no time wasted.
yeah.
I know
I'm just like, and I'm taking my daughter. She loves
Nice.
Scream. She's a big Scream fan, so we went and saw 5 together. So she loves the TV show too. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
Oh
it's gonna
yeah,
be a
nice
good
little
time.
father-daughter date. Watch Scream.
Yeah.
Watch some Ghostface terrorize some mofos. It is going to be a great time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we're gonna
Real
be
quick
discussing
before we
it
do-
like crazy.
Oh yes, absolutely. And before we do head out, I do want to answer a couple quick questions. Scott Walker asks, Marcus, I have a question for you. What are the chances Stu will buy his old house again so he can plan his revenge on Sydney and start up his cult? Is it possible he will buy his old house? I don't think he would buy his old house unless he would buy it underneath an alias, because everybody in Woodsboro will know who he is, most likely. Even though he's a lot older and might be scarred up, I still think that, people would know who he is. So I don't see him
Yeah.
buying his old house. And as for the cult of Stu Macher, buddy, we're seeing it play out right before our eyes in Scream 5 and Scream 6. Fret not, my friend. The Stu Macher cult, it's already happening.
Yep.
It's already happening, in my opinion. And we have one more question here from Radioactive Cosmic Rays. How much screen time of the Ghostface killers do you guys expect in Scream 6 compared to past films? Destin, I'll let you go first, my friend, before I answer.
Well, I definitely think we're gonna get a lot more in this one. Because
Yeah.
this one, it seems like we're just gonna be seeing like Ghostface, like I feel like we're gonna see Ghostface like every 5-10 minutes, almost like every 10 minutes, maybe.
Mhm.
There's gonna be, I think the kills are gonna be one after the other. It's just gonna be fast paced. Once things kick off, it just keeps going until the end. Because isn't it rumors that most of this movie is in one night?
Yep.
So if that's the case, I think it's just everybody's on the run. And so I can't really compare how much screen. I never looked at the numbers as far as like minutes of how much
Right.
ghost time we got in the other films. So I really can't compare that. But I definitely think we're going to get a lot more of Ghostface in this one. I think Ghostface is probably going to be the star of this one more than anybody else.
I agree with that. I to answer Radioactive's question, I think that this Scream 6 film will homage and mirror Halloween Kills in terms of how much Ghostface we get, and as well as the brutality. Melissa Barrera says in the most ruthless Ghostface yet trailer that I dropped yesterday that this Ghostface killer is killing just for senseless kill. So I think that's pretty telling that we are going to see a lot of Ghostface just picking mofos off left and right
Mhm.
in Scream 6. And especially in terms of pace, they said it's supposed to be fast paced. If it's supposed to be fast paced, faster paced than all the other movies, then I think you can guarantee to see a lot more Ghostface in this film. So that's my answer for that question. Definitely do think we're going to get a lot of screen time with Ghostface, and I think Destin is correct in his observation that Ghostface is going to be the star. They have built up so much promotion that this is the most aggressive, mean, nasty, violent Ghostface that we have ever seen. So
Mhm.
if that is the case, why not showcase that more often than the other films? I definitely do think that
Yeah,
Ghostface is going to be hogging the screen a good bit.
yeah, because that's what that's one thing about. I'm like, wow, Ghostface is in that location. Ghostface is in this location. Ghostface is here. Ghostface is there. I'm like, we're going to be seeing Ghostface all the time.
Everywhere.
So
Man, it's
I can't
beautiful.
wait. I'm excited for it. It's like Christmas.
It really is, man. And I will be honest, they picked the perfect setting because New York City, and it's like, Courtney said in the trailer, Ghostface can hide amongst anybody. And
Yeah.
that's what's beautiful about it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's what's beautiful about this setting and what feels fresh for the Scream franchise. So hopefully character development, story, and motive, hopefully all that's on point as well as the setting.
Yep.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully we get a great movie.
Yep. Absolutely. I think we will. I think it.
I
I think we're gonna walk out and being like, that was badass.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I'm confident in that. I know some fans out there are like 50-50 on it. I'm more like 80-20. I just got a really good feeling about this movie. And I have a feeling that I'm right. And I have a feeling that you're right as well, that this is going to be a badass movie and that we're going to all walk out of the theater satisfied. Now, not maybe all. There's going to be those few that might not like it, but I genuinely think that the majority will love this film. I really do.
Hmm.
All right, my friend, before we head out, do you want to plug anything for your channel? As you can see, Val has kindly put your link in the comment section. Thank you for that, Val. We greatly
Thank you,
appreciate that.
Val. Uh, I just if you like anything horror and definitely Scream, Halloween, anything in between, head over to my channel. I also want to invite everybody. Marcus is going to be there. Val's probably going to be there. I'm pretty sure. Amongst other people that's been in the chat tonight. But if you're new to the channel, we are having a Screamathon on Saturday, March 4th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're watching all 5 of the Scream movies. It's going to be at least a 10-hour watch party. And I want to invite some people onto the show that are content creators and that's been a part of my channel since the beginning, and some of my close friends, and also some of the viewers. I would like to have y'all on and get to know y'all more. Um, so yeah, you're invited. Screamathon, Saturday, March 4th, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Bro, that's gonna be fun. Like I said, I can't. I mean, I may be only able to come in for 2 hours, but we're gonna have a great time in those 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
10
I'm gonna have to
hours
have
worth
like
of
my
Scream.
popcorn. I thought about getting some
Yep.
Jiffy Pop.
You got to
And
rock the stew robe for that.
oh yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing. I'm glad you said that. Is like, if you want to dress up, because I want this to be like a party, like an all day thing.
Right.
It's probably going to go past 10 o'clock at night, because we're going to have discussions later on. So, um, whatever the stream will let me do, I will do. That's how I'm looking at it. So if you want to dress up and be a part of the show, just come hang out. Let's have some fun. I want to have some fun with it.
Hell yes, man. I cannot wait for that. I can't wait to pop in. And again, I might also still be able to pop in towards like the last hour or two as well after I get off of work. So
Hell yeah.
altogether, Saturday is going to be a fun day. Like Destin said, if you guys aren't doing anything Saturday and you want to watch a Scream marathon, head over to his channel, The Destination Station. Again, I promise you guys, any new viewers who come across this stream, who are new subscribers to my channel, if you're not yet subscribed to Destination Station, get your asses over there. Subscribe. I promise you, you will love the content and you will love him as a person in general. Great guy, great conversations. I promise I am not steering you in any wrong direction.
Thanks,
I'm not
buddy.
steering you guys over a cliff.
And thank you, Val. I see that you put the link in there. Thank you, Val. I can always count on Val.
Yep.
That's my
Hashtag the
girl.
general, man. It's the
Yeah.
general.
Yep. Heck
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay, so real quick, unfortunately, Dino and Carrie, we are actually heading out. We're getting, closing up the stream now.
Uh,
But I am going to say hello and, give you guys your flowers. Thank you guys for stopping in the stream, even though it was last minute. You know what
my
I mean? And
sister
stuff.
from another mister.
We are definitely going to be catching up more on some live streams as well. Carrie, you already know, and you as well know, Destin. I sent you guys the Instagram group chat about it. I got to still put together the thumbnail and the stream. Wednesday, March the 8th. I'm going to say 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We are going to be going live for a Scream 6 glow in the dark party. I'm going to be doing a trivia hangman style. We're going to be guessing some things, playing some hangman. And we're also going to be giving our final predictions on Scream 6, our final theories, thoughts, all that good stuff leading into the film. So again, stay tuned for the thumbnail and stay tuned for the overall stream. I got to make it and all that, but we will be doing a glow in the dark party on Wednesday night. I am so pumped for that. I can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun.
I'm trying to think. Do I have anything glow in the dark?
It's all right, bro. Grab some glow sticks. I mean, listen, Spencer's got a glow in the dark Ghostface shirt. That's what I'm rocking.
Okay,
and
I'll have to go get that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I mean? We can match, man. Let's do it. That's what made me come up with that idea is I seen that the shirt glowed in the dark, and I'm just like, holy shit. That would be a cool idea for a fucking live stream. A Scream 6 glow in the dark live stream.
Scream rave.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you best believe I'm going to have some smooth techno jams and some jams that seem like we are at a rave. So we are going to be having a great time. Carrie, make sure you bring the strobe lights.
I'll dance for super chat.
Absolutely.
I'll
man.
Magic Mike it up in this bitch. In the Scream costume.
Man, in the Scream. Okay, well, everybody in chat, you got to hold Destin to that. He's going Magic Mike style in the Ghostface costume. It's going down. It's happening. It has to happen. But okay, everyone. Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. This is my good friend Destination Station, and we will catch you guys later. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night and be safe out there.